Bobby Gordon making green flag pit stops as Gordon continues by for another lap. This will be 35 for him.
We're ready for you, bud. Be ready this time, bud.
There's the difference between Gordon and Rudd on the track.
And there's the separation. Almost 4 seconds, 3.9. And Jarrett is 24 seconds behind. We see Jarrett just now coming off flat turn 3. Gordon is going down the backstretch.
Todd Bodine, third place on pit road. Marty?
Indeed, Todd Bodine is Alan. A little tight for Todd Bodine. They took a ½ pound out of the right front tire. They're putting those tires on now. It will be a 4-tire stop for Todd Bodine. Again, we said they're very happy with the car. They did not expect to run this well. Right behind Todd Bodine, Tony Stewart has come into the pits. It'll be a 4-tire stop for Stewart as well. His car is a little bit loose. They think they miscalculated the weather today. They think it's a little bit cooler than they thought it would be today. They made a track car adjustment and took 1 pound out of the right rear for Tony Stewart, who's back out on the racetrack.
See Kevin Harvick coming off pit road. John Andretti is out, and here's the leader in. Jeff Gordon stops. Mark Martin takes the lead. We go to Matt Yoakum to cover the Jeff Gordon stop.
And the 24 car, Jeff Gordon, makes his way to his pit box on lap 35, his first scheduled pit stop. We told you earlier that Gordon was complaining about his car being tight in all 3 corners. Steve Letarte does make a wedge adjustment. They come around the left side of the car to Bill Weber.
Smooth stop for Ricky Rudd. 4 tires and fuel. He's loose. They're trying to correct that with air pressure.
Oh, Gordon almost gets into Sterling Marlin as he makes a pit stop.
Dale Jr., Johnny Benson. Let's cover the Dale Jr. stop.
And Jr. is in, Alan, a little bit loose, down 1 round on the track bar, 4-tire stop, and a pretty quick one for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Mark Martin's the race leader. Bobby Labonte, Ken Schrader, they both have not stopped yet. They'll be second and third, pending their pit stops. You see Ward Burton leaving. It's Jason Leffler coming at you. And Michael Waltrip. Kyle Petty also in on pit road. And behind him come Bobby Labonte and Ken Schrader. There's Bobby. These are lap 37. Rusty Wallace, Ricky Craven, and Robert Presley following him down pit road. Marty.
And Alan, they did have a problem a little bit earlier. We were talking about that, I think, off the air, but they fell back at the start of the race. Bobby had the brakes misadjusted inside the car. He had the adjuster calculated wrong inside of his car. Pretty happy with the car, though. Right now, it will be a 4-tire stop for Bobby Labonte. They do make a right side adjustment. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Rusty Wallace, very tight. His car is very tight. Track bar adjustment. He wants the windshield clean. They also pull the rubber out of the right rear.
Mark Martin continues to hold the lead. He's just gone by these cars on the racetrack, so Mark is still out in front.
One reason that these cars would pit early, I said some of these cars could go 40 laps, and some of the cars that pitted could probably run 40, 42 laps, but you cannot, I repeat, run out of fuel here at Pocono, because if you do it at the wrong spot, for instance, down the front straightaway, you cannot coast all the way back to pit road. You'll sit out there till they send a truck to push you back.
And that won't be till you're at least a lap down, just by the time the pace car picks up the field and all the rest. Wally, you talked about Bobby Labonte having the brakes adjusted wrong from inside the cockpit of the car. Talk about that.
Okay, well, if he was loose, he was probably trying to put front brake in the car, and he may have gone the wrong way, and it made it more loose.
They have an adjustment, a brake bias dial that the driver can work from inside the cockpit.
Right, and it either gives you more front brake or rear brake depending on how you turn it.
Here's Mark Martin, the race leader, coming in. Bill Weber.
Mark Martin on pit road had to dodge the 7. This is a huge pit stop for these guys. They have a temporary rear tire changer because Sean Parker is not here today. Todd Ziegler working the rear tires, normally changes the front tires on Jeff Burton's Busch car. Looks like it's
Dave Burns.
Steve Park is in. The car was loose. Paul Andrews, the crew chief, said we will make a wedge adjustment. The wrench is in the car. They make that in a 4-tire change for Steve.
Jeff Burton has yet to make a pit stop. Matt Kenseth and Dale Jarrett also have not come in. And remember, Jarrett was in under the caution flag earlier in the race back at lap 4. So he's got lap 5 rather. So he's got a couple of extra laps that he can run. Bill talked about a new rear tire changer. Sean Parker is the chief mechanic, the car chief for Mark Martin's team. His wife Tara has been in a hospital in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for a number of weeks now, awaiting a heart transplant. The other day, the phone rang at 4 a.m. up here in Pocono, telling Sean that a donor had become available. Jack Roush personally flew Sean back to the hospital. I talked with Jimmy Fennig, Mark Martin's crew chief, this morning. He said the word from Sean is the operation went very well. Tara's doing fine, all things considered, in a transplant situation, and that's very good news. And we're all thinking about Sean and Tara.
Oh, we sure are. In the next 12, 24 hours, the critical hours to see if the body accepts the new heart.
We sure wish them well.
It's a battle between Mark Martin and Bill Elliott.
That's for 7th spot right now. Jeff Burton's the leader. Dale Jarrett is 2nd. Matt Kenseth is 3rd. Then the cars that have already pitted. You'll have Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, Todd Bodine, Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Bobby Hamilton, who also hasn't stopped yet. Leader Jeff Burton in. Matt Yoakum.
Crew chief Frank Stoddard is calling his driver and car. Jeff Burton down pit road. Frank told me that Jeff was reporting in. His car was a little bit loose, so they are going to make a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment. You can see the reg winch go in the back windows. They make the adjustment. They come around to the left side of the car. Mark Hollywood Armstrong pulling off that left front tire. A little bit of trouble on the left rear, and Burton is down and away, 17.1 seconds.
A lug nut fell off. 5 lug nuts are glued to the wheel. Hollywood stuck the tire up there, and one of them fell off. He had to reach on the ground, pick up a nut, and stick it on the stud. That cost him about 2 seconds.
Dale Jarrett has evened the score. He has just led a lap before coming to pit road for this stop. That's 5 bonus points for the championship, equaling those collected earlier in the race by Rudd and Gordon. Dave?
And the word from Todd Parrott was, let's wait till everyone else around us pits. Steve Park behind and Robbie Gordon in front, both pitted. So now they have a clear shot on pit road. They talked about making a chassis adjustment to fix the loose situation, but they didn't want to make it tight in the corner, in the middle of the corner. That's a great stop for Dale Jarrett.
And Jarrett stopping puts Jeff Gordon into the lead. So bonus points, even. Now we'll see where Jarrett shakes out after he gets up to speed off pit road, as far as running position is concerned. There's Jeff Gordon, the leader. 1.5 seconds up on Ricky Rudd. Things pretty much status quo after the green flag stops.
We talked about Ricky Rudd's car being just a little bit loose in that first run. I talked to Ricky Friday about how well his car ran here 6 weeks ago, and he said we were lucky to win the race because when I started the race, my car was very, very loose, but Michael McSwain, the crew chief, worked on it, and when the race was over, I had a car that was unbeatable, but they had those able to make pit stops and make adjustments. We'll see if that same thing happens again today.
That have been put a lap down through the shuffle of pit stops. You saw Jeff Gordon pass Rick Mast, who is driving that yellow 27 car this week. Brett Bodine, Stacy Compton, also a lap down. And you've got Buckshot Jones, who is a number of laps down after being involved in the crash back at lap number 4.
You know, it sounds like there's a lot of cars loose. And normally, after they have the ARCA race, and we go out for a practice, everybody is loose until that rubber gets worked off the racetrack. And I'm just wondering, since they haven't had a practice since the ARCA race, if that isn't a lot of what these guys are experiencing right now.
What about the weather change from yesterday, too? Cloudy and overcast, cooler today?
I don't know. Normally, I don't think that would affect this place as much at Pocono.